In this video, I will demonstrate how to create a custom GPT in OpenAI step by step. However, this is not just a technical walkthrough. We will design the GPT intentionally, grounded in learning objectives, instructional alignment, and pedagogical control. Before creating any assistant, remember, we are not building a chatbot for entertainment. The key rule: the GPT must support thinking without telling answers. We are designing a structured educational assistant. This GPT will act like a patient learning buddy. It will explain ideas in short, clear steps, offer different ways to comparisons, mini-stories, visuals described in words, and ask small guiding questions so students can figure it out themselves. Let's begin. Open your web browser. In the search bar, type OpenAI and open the official result. Log in by clicking on the button in the top right corner and select ChatGPT. Now click Login again and just choose your preferred method, Google or other. Great, you are now inside ChatGPT. Now that we're logged in, we need to open the area where we can build a custom GPT. Look at the left sidebar. If you see Explore GPTs, click Explore GPTs in the left sidebar. On the Explore page, look for the Create button, usually near the top right or top area of the page. Click Create. This opens the GPT Builder. Think of this as moving from a regular conversation to a structured assistant with defined instructions and boundaries, exactly what our framework recommends for predictable educational behavior. Next, you'll usually see two ways to build: a conversational create mode and a more detailed configure mode. We will use configure as where we lock down the pedagogical role, workflow, and restrictions. We will fill fields in a specific order to reduce tool-first thinking aligned with our pedagogical principles. Name the educational chatbot. First, we name the educational chatbot so its purpose is obvious to teachers and students. Click inside Name. Type a functional title, for example, Adaptive Learning Explanation Assistant, or Inclusive Learning Support Assistant. A good name communicates who it is for and what it does. This supports confident use and reduces misuse. Add a short description. Now we write a short description. In our guidance model, good documentation always clarifies context, audience, and when to use it. In this case, an educational assistant that explains learning content in a clear, simple, and adaptive way for students with learning difficulties, helping them understand subjects step by step at their own pace. This matches the idea that chatbots are learning partners and co-designers, not authoritative sources. Upload or choose an icon. Optional, add an icon so users can recognize the chatbot quickly in a list of tools. Add instructions. First, let us expand the instructions window by clicking the icon in the top right corner so that we can clearly see all the entered instructions. Remember that this is the most important part. The instructions define the chatbot's role, workflow, and restrictions. Here, we will use the prompt template introduced in the training. First, write "you are," and then just add chatbot role. 2. Your goal is here you will add main task and expected outcome. 3. You work in the context of here you will add subject or topic. 4. Your target audience is students. For example, 5. Act working style. 6. Work step by step. 7. Observe the restrictions prohibitions. 8. Provide responses in format, tone, language. Step 1. Define the role. In the first step, define the role of the chatbot. This tells the system who the chatbot is and what kind of support it is expected to provide. The role should be specific, educational, and easy to understand. Examples: you are an adaptive learning explanation assistant. You are a mathematics support chatbot. You are an inclusive reading assistant. Step 2. Define the goal. In the second step, describe the chatbot's goal. Focus on both the task and the intended outcome. Ask yourself, what should this chatbot help students achieve? Examples: your goal is to explain school subjects in a simple and adaptive way so that students can understand difficult concepts step by step. Your goal is to support students in solving math problems independently and with confidence. Step 3. Define the context. Next, define the educational context. This helps the chatbot stay focused on the relevant subject area and respond more accurately. Examples: you work in the context of primary school science. You work in the context of inclusive language learning. You work in the context of supporting reading comprehension for basic education students. Step 4. Define the target audience. Here, identify the target audience. Think about who will use the chatbot. Their age, learning needs, and level of understanding should shape the chatbot's responses. Examples: your target audience is primary school students with learning difficulties. Your target audience is lower secondary students who need support in reading and writing. Your target audience is students who benefit from simplified and step-by-step explanations. Step 5. Define the working style. In this step, define how the chatbot should act. The chatbot should not only give information, but do so in a way that supports and motivates learners. Examples: act patiently, clearly, and supportively. Act as a calm, encouraging, and structured learning guide. Act in a student-friendly, inclusive, and non-judgmental way. Step 6. Describe the work steps. Now describe the step-by-step process. This helps the chatbot respond in a structured and predictable way. It is especially useful for learners who need clarity and routine. Examples of work steps. First, identify what the student needs help with. Then explain the topic in simple language. Break the content into smaller parts. Give an example. Check understanding. Offer another explanation if needed. Step 7. Add restrictions. This step focuses on restrictions. These instructions tell the chatbot what it must avoid. Restrictions improve the quality and safety of the chatbot's support. Examples: do not use overly complex language. Do not give long and confusing explanations. Do not shame or criticize the learner. Do not encourage cheating. Do not provide unsupported or inaccurate information. Step 8. Define the response format. In the final step, define the response format. This includes the structure, tone, and language of the chatbot's answers. A clear format makes the chatbot easier to use and understand. Examples: respond in short paragraphs, simple English, and a calm, supportive tone. Respond in step-by-step format using learner-friendly language. Respond in clear, structured form with examples and short summaries. Remember that there is a character limit in the instructions field, so avoid unnecessary wording and repetition. Keep your instructions clear, specific, and focused on what the chatbot really needs to do. You can also use AI to help you draft, refine, and improve your instruction text. This is often the section that needs the most revision, because after testing the chatbot, you may notice that some parts need to be clarified, simplified, or adjusted to make the chatbot respond exactly as intended for your students. Let's move on. Conversation starters. Conversation starters reduce barriers for first-time users and support quick, successful interaction, one of the key documentation principles. Simply enter the text here and it will always appear to the student when they open this specific chatbot. Can you explain this topic step by step in a simpler way? I don't understand this task. Can you help me one step at a time? Knowledge. Upload templates, rubrics, school policy excerpts. Optional but powerful. You can upload reference documents like a school checklist, curriculum outcomes, accessibility guidelines, or a resource template, so the chatbot adapts consistently. This supports institutional alignment and sustainable use. Only upload documents you are allowed to share. Avoid personal data. This aligns with responsible and ethical implementation. Capabilities. If you plan to share the chatbot with students who use the free version, it is safer to rely on the recommended default model. This helps keep the chatbot accessible and easier to use across different user plans. Web search can be useful if students need up-to-date information, but for a learning support chatbot, it is often better to keep the focus on clear explanations. Canvas is helpful for drafting and revising longer texts, while Code Interpreter is useful for data, calculations, and file-based tasks. These capabilities should be enabled only if they match the chatbot's intended use. Once you have entered all the settings, click Create in the top right corner. Next, choose how you want to share the chatbot. If you want students or colleagues to use it, select an option that allows sharing by link. But if the chatbot is only for your personal work, the best option is Only Me. Click Save, and then open your newly created chatbot. We will look at testing in the next video. Thank you for watching.